Hello everyone, this is Ojus here, and I'm overly excited because Nintendo just announced a Nintendo Direct slated for February 9th, 2022 at 4 p.m. Central Time. I decided that I wanted to create a video discussing my predictions instead of the bingo card that I usually do. Hope you all enjoy, and let's begin the predictions. I would like to begin with Zelda. I think there will be no new news about the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. However, there will be news about a Zelda game, maybe two of them in fact. I'll give two possibilities for a Zelda announcement in this Direct. Firstly, we are overdue for the next 2D Zelda game, whether that is a remake or a completely new one. I think it will most likely be a remake, and I would prefer it to be the Zelda Oracle games. Secondly, we may not see a 2D entry, but a remake of two beloved 3D Zelda games released this summer. Those games would be Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. However, I'm not that confident that Nintendo would release it all on one cartridge, because they like money. So they'll probably choose one or the other. I would prefer Twilight Princess HD personally. Let's move on to the second prediction. 2022 is shaping up to be very similar to 2017 in terms of the games that are releasing. Many of them are sequels to games that released in 2017, such as Splatoon, Mario & Rabbids, and Zelda. This leads me to believe that we may now see new entries in similar franchises that released in 2017. Firstly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a new 3D Mario game announced for the Nintendo Switch and slated for release in the fall or winter timeframe. From what I can tell, the most probable scenario is that they are making a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey, and will basically be similar to what Mario Galaxy 2 was to Galaxy 1. The sequel will build upon and improve many of the gameplay concepts from the first game. Another thing I expect to see is a sequel to ARMS. Many people discuss what has the Mario Kart team been up to for the past couple of years. While they may have been working on a new Mario Kart game, I think they've also been working on the sequel to ARMS. The original game sold over 2 million copies, which is a huge success, considering that the game is a totally new IP from Nintendo. I believe that there's so much more room for improvement for this franchise, and it deserves a new game in the series. A lot of people say that now Nintendo Directs don't have those Smash Bros. Character reveals. I think ARMS could help fill up that void. Speaking of Mario Kart, I think there will be some news here, but not what everyone expects. I'm of the mindset that a brand new Mario Kart will not release until the Nintendo Switch successor due to the large success of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, even in its legacy years. This makes me believe that it is more possible to see DLC announced for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe like new characters, tracks, battle arenas, battle modes, and kart items, very similar to what they did for Mario Kart 8 DLC back on the Wii U. With over 40 million copies sold, I would not be surprised if they announced DLC. Earlier, I talked about a new 3D Mario. However, there may be an alternative to this announcement. I am a huge fan of the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker game, which was a spin-off of Super Mario 3D World. I think that a sequel to this game would be possible, however, it may just be my own wishful thinking. Moving on, there are many games that we already know about releasing this year which I expect will receive new updates and even release dates. Firstly, the game I'm most hyped about, Splatoon 3. They could go any route with showcasing this game. I personally just want to see more gameplay, new maps, returning maps, new weapons, and maybe even a new mode like how Salmon Run was new to Splatoon 2. Also, they will announce the release date, which I think is the same as 2017, so around July. Next, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, a game that everyone is hyped about due to its transition into 3D. The release of this game is a little over a month away, so this Direct will be the full-on reveal of the game. I expect to see story mode expanded upon, details on some of the new worlds, especially the deery and dark-looking ones. I also want to see more about the new hub world, as well as new abilities in the game. Overall, people will get excited about this game. I hope that it also has online co-op play. We also know that Triangle Strategy is releasing next month, so this game will also receive a heavy trailer in the Direct as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Square Enix drops a demo for this game, since they have a habit of doing that. Another anticipated game, Advance Wars Reboot Camp, was slated originally for December 2021, however it was later delayed to spring 2022. I expect to finally see this game again, and a new release date for either April or May. I think it will be a short trailer showcasing the improvements since we last saw it. Finally, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Another excellent game to look forward to, and it's the sequel from a game that released in 2017. I fully expect it to be releasing around the same time frame again, so around August 2022. I think we'll see a more in-depth look at the story and gameplay this time. The next topic of discussion is remasters, ports, and remakes. Every year, we have seen a Wii U port or remaster from Nintendo. While the Wii U catalog of games is slowly decreasing, there are a few games left that can be ported over to the Wii U. As mentioned before, I fully expect that the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD games will be ported to Switch this year. However, if they aren't, then we can expect to see a port of Xenoblade Chronicles X, or Star Fox Zero, or even the NES Remix games. However, I am fully confident that the 3D Zelda remasters will release. Here is another prediction for a port that might release if ARMS 2 is not a reality. Last year, we saw a 3DS game be ported and remastered for Switch. This game was Miitopia. I think a similar thing could happen this year, and it would be a Mii-based game again. I'm a big fan of Tomodachi Life, and I think it deserves a remaster on the Nintendo Switch. Just imagining the quality of life features that could be added to the game makes me so excited for a potential remaster of the game. I hope that we get this game because I know that there are many fans that want it. There is one last Nintendo remaster or remake that has been discussed for quite a couple of years. This is the Metroid Prime Remake or Remaster. I think with the high success of Metroid Dread and the possibility of Metroid Prime 4 releasing in 2023, a Metroid Prime Remake is highly possible for the release this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in this Direct. I think this is obvious, but there will be remasters, ports, and remakes from many third parties. We already saw a potential leak from a retailer of the Batman Arkham collection being ported to Switch. Talking about third parties, there will obviously be more third-party games shown. However, I'm not much of an expert on third-party content, so I won't talk much about this. What I do expect to see is Capcom releasing more information on the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak DLC, which I believe is slated for release this summer. Aside from that, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Capcom announce a new Resident Evil Revelations game for the Switch. That's all that I can really talk about on the topic of third parties though. So if you want those predictions, I'd suggest finding another content creator who's more knowledgeable on that. One other thing I expect to see in the Direct is more news on Nintendo Switch Online, specifically their retro game service. I think we're overdue for a new system being added to the regular $20 tier of the subscription. I think this tier will receive Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, which is quite exciting, and I would be very, very excited and surprised if we get Pokemon games on there. Pokemon, the original Pokemon games, as well as the second generation Pokemon games. Moving on, another game that could receive an announcement is the new IP that developer Goodfield Games has been working on. Goodfield Games is the team behind games like Yoshi's Woolly World, Yoshi's Crafted World. I think it would be cool to see this new IP and learn more about it. If I remember correctly, this new IP was rumored to be a samurai game, so it would be quite unique and add something new to the Nintendo Switch catalog. Almost every year, Nintendo releases a small eShop only game, such as Box Boy and Box Girl in 2019 and Good Job in 2020. Not only that, but it usually releases it in the first half of the year, so I fully expect a small eShop only game from Nintendo to be announced. Personally, I would love for Nintendo to make a new entry in the Crashmo or Pushmo series. That franchise deserves more love. Finally, the last thing we will see is the new game that Monolith Soft has been working on. This has been rumored to be either an entirely new IP or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I personally think that it will be Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and it will close out the Nintendo Direct. Now that we have talked about some of my predictions, I do want to expand upon some things. I obviously do not think all of this will be announced. That would be way too much of a jam-packed year. However, I'm just suggesting what might possibly be announced. For example, I don't expect the summer months to be filled with ARMS 2, Tomodachi Life, Zelda, Mario plus Rabbids, and Captain Toad. That's just insane. For stuff like ARMS 2 and Tomodachi Life, I'm merely suggesting possibilities of what might release in those summer months. Another thing that I want to address is the fact that I didn't talk about Pokemon at all in these predictions. While I'm a huge Pokemon fan and fully expect new stuff from them this year, I didn't expect Pokemon stuff to be announced at this Nintendo Direct. The Pokemon Company often reveals stuff on their own, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do their own Pokemon Presents later this month or in March to announce stuff. I fully expect Pokemon Legends Arceus DLC, new Pokemon spin-offs, and even Gen 9 to be announced at a Pokemon Presents. That is the end of this predictions video. I hope you all enjoyed hearing what I had to say about the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Please comment down below on what predictions you agree with, the ones you are cautious about, and even tell me about your own predictions. After the Direct happens, I'll try my best to make a reaction or impressions video to let you all know what I thought about the Direct and its announcements. The one thing that matters to me most tomorrow is the release date of Splatoon 3. I graduate with my master's degree this May, so if it releases in May, June, or July, it will be like a graduation gift for me. Thank you for watching.